Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. It is so nice to see so many of you already in the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, hello. It is nice to see you. We're going to do a general kind of cruise Q&A today. So if you have any cruise questions, please leave them in the comments. If you can start your question, just like Sean has said here, with the word question, just makes it easier for me to pick out what is a question and what is everybody chatting. Like, for example, Martin saying, hello from a grey and cool London. Yes, it does feel very grey here today. I've been doing these live streams since March of 2020, and I've just found a button which I think might actually make it easier for me to read the questions. So I'm going to press that button and we will see. Also, you are kind of rotating around, which is not ideal. Please stay still. Is that okay? Okay, right. I'm going to press the button. We'll see. Okay, where are your comments? Can't see ya. Anyone saying anything? I don't know. No, that doesn't make it better. That makes it much worse. Right, back to normal. Okay, so Carol says, what does the anchor by my name mean? That means you are a channel member on Emma Cruises. That is how it changes color after you've been here for a while, I think. That's what that means. If you have a little spanner or a wrench next to your name, that means you're a moderator. As Lou is here, he says, wrenches assemble. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, so many questions already. Let's get straight in with, let's start with one from Mimi. It says, what was your family and friends' initial reaction when you told them, I'm quitting my regular job and doing Emma Cruises exclusively? I mean, I don't think it was a surprise to anybody. I did Emma Cruises part-time for 5 years, I think. It was never a plan for the first 4 years to leave my job and do it full-time, but pandemic happened. I started working from home. I thought I never want to go back to that job. They made a bunch of people redundant. It's that Britishism, laid off, I think, in the US. And I thought I never want to go back there. So I sort of put on my business hat and I said to people, I mean, all my friends were like, yes, good for you. Obviously, my family a bit more worried, but they said they never doubted me or anything. There's no better time to take a risk. The only person I have to look after is the Captain Hudson who we have here. And he's not that expensive to feed. So, if all went wrong, it would be okay. Hang on a second, Hudson. Wait, I can't. There we go. Ow. Oh my gosh. Spike, he acts like we don't feed him. I know. There you go. Eat those. That's very close to the microphone, Hudson. Okay, right. Go over there and eat those. Go in there and eat those. Right, okay. So this is Captain Hudson. If you've never met Hudson, he is the one who this toy is based off of. He's the one that my logo is based off of. This is the original Hudson who loves his dreamies. I'm gonna have to sort of put this packet away, or he's not gonna leave me alone. Connie says, that's the luggage tag shirt I'm getting. Yes, so this one is all you need in life are cats and cruisers. I also made them in dogs and I made them in rabbits. And this design is on t-shirts. It is also on, it's on luggage tags like this one. So this is a different one, which is pretty cool. A lot of people requested luggage tags, so I have added those now. We have stickers now. We have everything. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, for the live stream, I try and do a discount every Friday. So there's 10% off these kids ones and adults ones. And the discount code is animals in capital letters. So yes. I've been waiting to buy the right shirt. This is the one. Thank you. I'm waiting to see if cats, dogs, or rabbits wins the race. At the moment, dogs are winning. So if anyone on the team cat wants to buy one, that would be cool. How can I get a Captain Hudson? Are you making him available in the near future? Yes. So we are very close to Captain Hudson version 2. This is Captain Hudson version 1. You can't buy him anymore. He was like a limited time run. But version 2, I've had the first sample. I sent it back. I wasn't happy with it. I wanted to change. So now they're making the change that I asked for. Version 2 is going to have like a little yellow jacket, like a life jacket. And he's got a little cookie in his pocket, which I think is cute. But the way they made the life jacket, it went right over his bum. And it looked like he was wearing like a nappy, as we would say in the UK, or a diaper if you're from somewhere else. Do you still have to provide health screenings for cruises? So, as far as I know, I can't think of any cruise line that asks for COVID tests anymore. You normally have to tick a thing that says, I've not been sick in the last 48 hours. I've not been, unwell in any way, but that's about it. Sean says, can you do a discount code for the luggage tags? I think if I did, I would be losing money on every single one. I don't think I'm making any money on each one because they're not very expensive. So I don't think I can do that. I know how the pricing works with the t-shirts because they're in a factory in the US. The luggage tags come from somewhere else. So I think I would end up in the minus. So I'm not going to do that, if that makes sense. Team Goldfish, I can't do that. I mean, I could. I think fish was one of the most popular types of pet, but yeah, maybe if people want it, I can do fish. Have you sailed on the Europa yet? I have not. I would like to. The MSC Europa. I've done 5 MSC cruises. I do like MSC, and it looks like something different, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. You guys are still rotating around a little bit. I don't know. You can't see on here, but the writing is coming off of my plaques. That's pretty annoying. The 100,000 is like fading away. Sean says worth the ask. Yeah, absolutely agreed. But hopefully you can understand my reasoning. Hopefully. Mark says, what is the best cruise for a first-time cruiser? Not too fancy and on my own. That's a very difficult question to answer because there's thousands and thousands of potential answers. And there's so many things I would need to ask you. So if you go to my website, emmacruises.com, I have a free one-page guide, really easy. It has all the major cruise lines and it compares things like the dining, the formality, how busy the daily schedule is. And if you look at that, you'll be able to instantly be like, nope, I'm not looking at all of those 5-star ones. Nope, I don't want the formal nights. I'll get rid of all of those. And that'll be really, really easy. And then I do work with agents in the UK and the US, and we can book for people in Canada as well. So if that works with you, go to my website, fill in the form, and then we can give you some ideas. Where is your next cruise? My next cruise is a river cruise, which I'm really excited about because I've not done a river cruise for a long time. And I do like river cruises. So I am excited. Joe says, any thoughts on where the cruise industry is headed in years to come? Is this a question that I don't know, Joe, if you asked it or if somebody else asked it to Tony on his live stream? Because I'm sure I can see Tony answering this very, very recently. It's tricky. I mean, if you look within certain cruise lines, they've definitely made a shift. If you take P&O, the biggest British cruise line, for example, there's definitely a shift away from the more formal nights, traditional dining, into the bigger ships that are cheaper. I think cruises are getting cheaper, actually, which nothing else in the world is getting cheaper. Obviously, more technology. I think kind of just more freedom and more choice is the way that it's going, and that suits me fine. Do you put your phone on airplane mode when you fly? When I fly, absolutely, it's airplane mode. I wouldn't dare not. On a cruise, as soon as I sail away from land, I put my phone into airplane mode. I have made the mistake and not done that before, and I have had some hefty bills from the maritime network. So yeah, it's so much easier if you just sail away, put your phone into airplane mode. You can still use Wi-Fi in airplane mode. You just won't connect to the kind of local networks. Melanie says, question please, are most bathrooms on cruise ships in your room very small? I have had bathrooms on cruise ships that have been bigger than my bathroom at home, for sure. Whether that's because I live in a small British house. I mean, my last place where I lived, yeah, the same. Sometimes they're pretty small, but they're so much better organized than bathrooms on land. I think if I could have the storage that cabins have in my bathroom, I would be so happy. I don't have any of that. So yeah, I don't think so. I mean, the smallest one I've had was on the Azamara ship. If you check out my video about that cabin, that's the smallest I've had. Scarlet Lady is pretty small as well. They're on the smaller end. But then, the one I had on Prima was really pretty big. The ones I've had on Princess have been pretty nice. So yeah. Do you have any plans to meet and collab with Chris? Loving his enthusiasm and tours. I think our paths may cross. And if they do, I will let you know more about it. But yes, that would be really cool. I would like that. Team Cat, my shirt is in the cart. Awesome. I got blue for this one. I'm kind of working my way through all the colors. I'm making sure that I test every single thing. So I have so many rejects now and I don't know what to do with all of them. Not of the t-shirts, but of different stuff. So for example, I want to add mugs and I have 5, I think, reject mugs because it's just a bit fuzzy. It probably won't. It's okay. It's all right. But I don't really want, so I'm working my way through trying there's so many different types of everything. Yeah. So What cruise are you dreading to try for the channel? There's no cruise that I'm dreading to try. Oh my goodness. And if I was dreading it, I wouldn't do it. I mean, the thing is quite often I get comments on my channel from people who never have been on a cruise, they don't want to go on a cruise, and they just say really nice things. Like, I'm just here because I enjoy watching you do a thing that you love, right? And for a while I was like, oh, that's so nice, but I don't really get it. And recently I've done a few things, like I went to see a theatre show, like an amateur show, and just seeing how much those people liked that thing, it was so good. And there's been other things like that where I've seen someone and been like, go you, that's so cool. So I wouldn't do a cruise if I was going to dread it. And I can't think of any anyway. So yeah. Tom says, do you think cruising is the best value holiday right now? Yes. Oh my goodness, absolutely. So I've just booked a cruise for my family. Oh, sorry, microphone, including my nieces. And my nieces, they were £150 for 13 nights. How can you feed children for that amount, let alone take them on holiday? So yes. And I stayed in a hotel on land last weekend. It was very lovely to do something different, but it was at least the price you pay for a good cruise. And it included no food, no entertainment. It didn't move anywhere. There was a slug in my shower. So yeah. Have you ever taken autographs from a ship's captain? I've never collected an autograph from anybody in my entire life. I've got some photos with ship captains, but I've never asked anybody for an autograph. Where is this cruise? £150 for the kids. It's a Mediterranean cruise, but a lot of P&O cruises are like that. If you can get third and fourth people in the cabin, they can either be £99 for the entire cruise, 150 is like on the higher end for the entire cruise. Adults, they started at £800 for 13 nights, but even that's well under the £100 per night budget, including gratuities. So we did upgrade to a balcony. Even still, it was around £100 a night for adults, and the kids are super cheap. So yeah, you couldn't do that on land. Like, I don't think so. Also, I have a Britishism that's really not going to make sense to most people. But if you are British and you've seen Balamory, you have to be sort of the same age as me. I have like a Miss Hooley haircut going on at the moment from Balamory. Let me know if anyone if anyone knows who that is. It won't go down. But it's been over a year since I cut all my hair off, did the charity head shave, so I'm feeling pretty happy about it. Is that mic a Blue Yeti mic? Yes, it is. It is. If ever you kind of see me with some tech and you wonder what it is, I have an Amazon store. If you just type in Emma Cruises Amazon, I keep up to date in there, like the different. I use like a DJ camera, a 360, and different stuff. Other people know who she is. That's good. That's good. Do you give autographs? I don't really have a signature, so I wouldn't. I'd have to make one up. It would be quite cool to make one up, and I could have like a little cat in it, but I don't really have one. So yeah. Yeah, thank you. That's good. Wouldn't you like to know? Thank you. What's the story in Balamory? Absolutely. Now I feel old. How funny. Yeah. Still team interior though. I actually on that P&O cruise, I booked an ocean view, which is interesting. I don't normally book ocean views, but I went on a cruise on Iona with someone that had an ocean view, and it had a really nice bench seat with the window, and it just looks super nice. We don't need a balcony. You know, if I'm with other people on that cruise who have a balcony, I don't need my own really. So that's what I've done. Can you take a young baby on a cruise, and would they be free? On some cruise lines, on a cruise line like Costa, quite often the young children are free, but some will charge. It's every cruise line has a different rule on what they count as a child. You know, some cruise lines, once you're 12, you're an adult, and some when you're 18, you're an adult. So yes, you normally have to be 6 months to go on a cruise as a baby, just for like, you know, in case they need any medical care or something. But yeah, normally once they get to 6 months, they can go. There are some rules sometimes though about you have to be a year maybe, or 9 months or something, if you're doing like a transatlantic cruise or one with lots of sea days. David says, just ordered the shirt. Amazing. I'm really looking forward to, but also I'm really nervous about if I'm on a cruise and I see somebody wearing one of my shirts, because I wouldn't want to go up to them and assume that they had or knew who I was or watched my channel or anything, because they could have just been given that shirt, especially this one. You know, the Emma Cruises, it does say it, but it's so small. So I wouldn't want to come up to someone and be like, oh my God, it's an amazing shirt. I made that. I don't know. Hopefully people come up to me if they want me. Hopefully that's the plan. Any plans for an interior yacht club trip on MSC in future, says Adam. Yes, I look at this all the time. I really would like to do it. The yacht club is basically, for those of you who don't know, it's like a ship within a ship, and it's like the premium area. Not something I would normally do, but they do have inside cabins in there, so it would be nice to do it for this channel. You know, it's not something I would probably do myself, but it would be interesting. What is the reasoning behind balconies if there is such an expansive promenade? Surely you could find a nice space to relax there. That's, you know, if you have an inside cabin, you'll spend very little time in your cabin. If you have a balcony cabin, you have your own space where you can go out, and most of the time it's private. Some of them you can see in, but most of the time it's private. So if you want to just, you want to just pop out and, chill out for a bit and come back and then go use the bathroom, and you can just come in and go out, and you've got your own guaranteed space, and there's not other people there. So yes. But when will Hudson be back in stock? Any day now. I'm waiting for the second version of the second sample of version 2. Then they have to send it to me for me to sign off. Then I'll put it live. We'll be live for 3 weeks. Then it'll be closed, and then we'll make them, and then they'll get sent out again. So if you're not already on the wait list, go to emmacruises.com/Hudson Toy. I think that's what it's called. And just join the list so I can let you know. Justin is in here. Hello, Justin. Justin spent, I don't know how long, but a long time before I went on Prima telling me how much he loved it, how much I was going to love it, how much I had to go and indulge. And when I came back, I think Justin was just like, told you so. And it is true. I'm editing right now my 5th video in the Norwegian Prima series, and it has things in it that, the other videos don't have. So this one is my kind of the normal type of video I make on this channel, like talking about the sail away from New York, talking about going to Bermuda, talking about the theater shows, talking about all of that stuff. And that will be out, I think, end of next week is my plan. It's a long one. It's a Prima movie, so I hope that you like it. But yeah. Kerry's in here. She says, Eliza loves your shirt. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am at the moment. I have added, so I have kids sizes on my shirts available, and I'm testing toddler sizes on my toddler sized niece. I think they're good. They're the same brand of t-shirt. They're printed in the same factory, but I just like to test stuff before I put it live on my website. Rich says your eyes are starting to look a little square. Yeah, I could tell you these scripts word for word. I could recreate each scene. I've seen every single clip so many times. Interesting. Tom says, how did you feel about cruising after the Costa Concordia incident? Did you cancel or change bookings? I didn't pay any attention to the Costa Concordia. To be honest, I don't know what I was doing, but I wasn't paying attention to cruising. I didn't have a cruising hat on. I've been on cruises, but it was not, I was busy being a teenager. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't cancel anything. I mean, it's one captain who broke some rules with terrible consequences, but it's one guy who did it. It's nothing to do with Costa. And quite often I get comments that say, oh, I never cruise with Costa because of Costa Concordia. Costa's owned by Carnival. So if you're going to kind of go with that logic, you'd have to boycott Carnival, Princess, P&O, Holland America. Yeah, it's just silly. He's in prison. If you're interested in him, I have guides on my website. Not a guide, but like a review on my website about what happened there and how long he's in prison. Andrew says, eyes square. What is that, a Britishism? I don't know. My mum always said to me, if you watch too much TV, your eyes will go square. And that's what I've been doing. I've been editing for a few weeks, and it feels like my eyes have gone square. Are you going to buy us all matching Hudson cruises when we go on our P&O family cruise? Do you mean cruises t-shirts? I mean, if you want to, then yes. Yes, Tracy says, when I first saw your shirt, I saw a swan and not a cat. Yes, if I go like this, you see a swan, right? I see it too, but it's definitely a cat. I promise. I promise. I'm worried about a fly cruise missing the ship. Am I wrong? So if you have booked it through a travel agent, you need not worry. Most of the time I book my cruises through the agent I work with in the UK, Emma. She books the flights. She books the cruises. Sometimes the flights will get there and we'll go straight to the cruise. And it's not a worry for me, because if that flight is cancelled, I message Emma and I say, sort it out. And she sorts it out. If you've done it yourself and your flight's cancelled, you've got to work it out, and you've got to try and get the money back, and you've got to book new flights, and you've got to do all of that stuff. So if I'm not using an agent, I'll always fly in the day before. I would definitely recommend everybody does that. But if you're doing it like as a package through MSC, they've got a flight everyone on that plane, half the people on that plane probably going to that same cruise. So yes. Carrie says, I'm wearing that shirt now. It's so cool. It's so weird to me. It's so cool. So cool. I have a cup of tea here, so please ignore me while I drink. John says, I almost timed out your mum. Please don't time out my mum from the chat. Katie says, do P&O ever do discounts on their short excursions? I could say this just generally. Cruise lines don't do discounts on their short excursions because they fill up and they sell out every single time. I don't think I've really ever seen sales for that. Oh, yeah, you can't time out my mum. My mum's a moderator. I'm the only person who can time out moderators. Adam says, was there enough to do in Bermuda during your Prima trip since you are there for so many days? Yeah, I did not touch the surface of the things you can do in Bermuda. So we had 3 days in Bermuda, 2 full days, and then we left at 3 p.m. on the third day, which is a good amount of time. But also, you don't even have to be in Bermuda the entire time. If your ship is docked and you're on the ship, there's still things going on. You can still eat all the food. You can still, they still have entertainment. It's just a bit less because there's less people there. And sometimes that's really nice. It's like having a sea day, but with half the people on it or less. So yes, I did not even touch the surface. To be fair to me, I was on this Prima cruise working for Norwegian to create content for Norwegian, for Norwegian's channel. By the way, for those of you who have commented on those videos, oh my goodness, I can't say thank you enough. It makes me, I don't know. But I was very much there working on this trip, so I didn't do too much in Bermuda. Oh, Dan's in here. Dan, my US agent, he says, we booked another couple on the Prima this morning. Great work, Dan. It's so cool. I have, while I'm not doing this, I'm still we're still doing it together, which is cool. But yes, so for that Prima trip, I've made my normal content for my channel. One video's come out already. It's a ship tour, and my normal kind of story video will come out. And then I was there to make 3 videos for Norwegian's channel. If you go on the Norwegian Prima page on Norwegian's website, my videos come up, which is really weird, but really, really cool. Of all the cruise lines, they're the cruise line I started cruising with. I cruise with them more than any other. When I took my first cruise, as an adult away from my family, I picked a Norwegian cruise. So it was very, very cool. But yes, I can't believe all of the nice comments. I don't know what I expected, but it was not this. There's so many comments that are just like, Emma sent me here, Emma sent me here. People being nice about me when they don't even know that I'm there, which is almost nicer. So yeah, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And there's going to be one more coming on their channel, the cabin review, and then my normal one on mine. Steve says, could you or someone in the chat recommend a cruise line that doesn't charge an arm and a leg for solo travels, Caribbean cruises in particular? I mean, the cruise line that I think does solos the best is Norwegian. Sometimes you can get good Norwegian deals, but if you're going to go on a new ship, it's not particularly cheap. If you look at cruise lines like MSC, though, I know not everybody is a fan of MSC, but sometimes their solo prices are insane, absolutely insane, like less than £100 per night solo. So if you go on my website, if you type in solos, I have all of my top picks in there, and we have lots of people in here, who cruise solo, which is cool. Poopy carrots. That's a cool username. Do you know a lot about how cruise ships work? Not particularly. I have interest in certain things. I'm not interested in the different types of engines. I really don't. I don't know too much about the sort of technical side of stuff. I'm more interested in. Oh, Hudson's doing a big yawn. I'm more interested in, I have friends who work on board. Like, what is their life like? What is it like? Oh, Hudson, cats sometimes just go he's gone a bit funny. But yeah, I'm more interested in sort of the people rather than the technical stuff. How did you ever find out that they had an outside curtain on your shower? I don't have a clue what that means. It sounds weird. Yeah, Johnson here, he says he's done $60 per night solo on MSC. Yes, pretty good. Becky says, how much does a Northern Lights cruise cost? I'm assuming it costs more than $100 per night. $100, Yeah, £100 maybe. £100 is, oh my gosh, I don't know what the conversion rate is at the moment. They're not too far apart anymore. But the Fred Olsen one that I did, because that's just a normal cruise line, just doing a Fred Olsen itinerary. MSC do it as well. I saw some MSC itineraries for Northern Lights. So if you do like a normal cruise line, it's pretty much a normal price. A bit higher maybe because it's limited time, limited itineraries. But if you look at my Fred Olsen video, I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember, but it was not much more than £100. It was like £120 per night, starting on that one. John says, how about having your parents as guests to comment on their perspectives as older cruisers and what they think about your channel and how they help you? So this is exactly the type of thing that I put on my Patreon podcast. I don't think it fits very well on my YouTube channel. My parents wouldn't want to do it for a start. But on my Patreon, if you're a Patreon or a YouTube channel member, I've had both my parents as guests, and I always answer everybody's questions every week. So yeah. Talking about the Smeralda bathroom. I mean, I knew what it was like when I saw it. I don't really understand the question. It was an interesting bathroom. It was one where there's kind of a glass bit in the shower and a curtain. Yeah, $1.15 is £1. It used to be 2 to 1, I'm sure, when I was younger, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, we've got comments on here going on about pizza. Best pizza at sea. And then, yeah, I agree. Princess pizza is the best. My mum says no thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Was quitting your job the best decision you ever made? You look glowing and happier. Yes. Not for a second do I regret it. And the thing is I left what people would consider a steady job in insurance, doing coding, which, I mean, AI is taking over a lot of that job now anyway, but it was a steady job, and they've had 2 rounds of redundancy since I left. So I could have just been made redundant anyway, even if I did stay. So I think the message is you can still fail at something even if you don't want it. So you might as well try something you want. Yeah. Best cruise bathrooms ever are the public ones on Disney Fantasy. I've not been on Disney Fantasy. My favorite public bathrooms, it's a weird thing to have, but I instantly have one, and it is Costa, on Costa Smeralda, because every single one was like, it was like beach hut, like stripy blue, stripy orange. Every single one was a different color, and it was just crazy, crazy. Are there any cruise lines where I can bring my beagle? The only one mainstream cruise line is Cunard, but your dogs have to stay in the kennels. So it's not like you have just your dog roaming around your cabin. I can't imagine the stress of being in a cabin, especially if you had a balcony cabin, like with a cat, for instance, and the cat's trying to jump off. It would just be so hard. Any pizza without ketchup? Yeah, I broke the internet this week again. I broke the internet once when I said pizza needs ketchup, and I don't think that's weird. But if you go to the pizza place on Royal Caribbean, there's a ketchup pump there, right there. But I said that ages ago, and then recently I said I eat scones. Well, I put up a video and someone commented on it because I eat a scone like a sandwich, like cut it in half, fill it up, and then put it back together as a sandwich. I thought everybody did that. Apparently not. It broke my internet. Yeah, 2008, the exchange rate hit $2.11 in a pound. My goodness, yeah. I mean, I think I was in the US in 2009, maybe. So maybe that's where that kind of stuck in my brain. Oh, yeah, true. Dan says if your dog is a registered service dog, some allow them in the cabins. Yeah, and they have really cute, like, little rest areas. I think they call it rest areas, like a little toilets for them in the crew areas, which is quite cool. There's a YouTuber called Molly. She's blind. She has a guide dog, and she shows where she takes her dog and stuff, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, people are very upset about scone sandwiches. Sounds like an American biscuit. No. Well, I don't know. It kind of is similar. I have had the American breakfast biscuit things before. It is not for me. Not for me, for sure. Eric says, any more river cruises coming up? So my next cruise is a river cruise, but it is not with any of the mainstream cruise lines. I'm doing a barge cruise, which is very exciting. So I'm going from Norwegian Prima, which is 3,000 people, to a barge that has maximum 24, I think. So that's cool. Hey, little Hudson. I can't reach the keyboard. Jim says, Emma, who can you tip above the gratuity rate. You can tip anybody you can find, anyone you can see. The most common people would be the room steward, I think, waiters, bartenders. But you could tip anybody if you want to. You know, no one's gonna not want that. So that's the answer. Jim says, in 10 years, the Emma Cruises empire will be huge. I mean, look what's happening now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want an empire, to be honest. I'm quite happy. You know, the thing is with YouTube and things, people often say to me, like, oh, you can be on TV. I don't really want to give away control on anything that I do. So I quite like just doing what I do. But I can certainly build an empire, sure. Many more cats. I'd like about 6 cats, if that's okay. Rich says most Europeans don't like American breakfast, but I think arguably it's the best thing about being an American. See, I said before that donuts are like they're a cake. You have them when you have cake, like in the afternoon, after dinner, for dessert. Love a donut for dessert, but breakfast, it's not a breakfast thing, but it is on cruises all the time. And when I see them, you know, yeah. 100 cats. I think I couldn't give 100 cats enough love. I think 6 cats would be optimal because I got one here. He's sitting on one knee. You can't see him, but I have space here on my lap. I have another knee there. We could have one there, one there, one there. There's plenty. And then I would be... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get any more cats though because Hudson's a cats protection cat. So he's adopted. We don't know where he came from, but whoever had him originally... we think he had them from a kitten up until he was 5. That's when I got him. But they sort of split up and neither of them wanted to keep Hudson. Crazy, but good because it means I got to keep him. But he's very shy, so I think if I brought in another cat, then he might run away. And he's my priority. I did manage to change this here. Have you seen it? Was the old one for so long. Yeah. Do you have donuts with tea? No, not really. I don't have anything with tea because I drink tea all the time. It's not like, I guess biscuits, custard creams and tea. You can never have too many cats. Maybe not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could have 6 cats in this space. That's very true. Grant says, will you be going on the new Morella Voyager anytime soon? I don't have any plans to. I am a big fan of Morella, though. I've done all of their other ships. They've got 4 other ships, and I've done all of them. 2 are ex-Royal Caribbean, 2 are ex-Celebrity, and it's a British cruise line, all-inclusive cruise line, so the drinks are included, and it's good fun. I will say they're much more expensive than they used to be a couple of years ago, but I think maybe they were kind of, I don't know, just starting out and needed to build it up, and now people know that it's good. They can charge more, is what I think. Dan is helping me get the group cruise together, March 2024. Need my YouTube celebrity to come along. Yeah, sadly, that's not a thing that I can offer, like book through me and Dan and then I come, because I would be never able to do anything again. I'd be so busy. But thank you so much. Dan is fantastic. He has taught me so much about booking cruises in the US because it is a completely different game. Hudson came with his name. I was on my lunch break and I was in Sainsbury's. If you're from the UK and you know Sainsbury's, I was in Sainsbury's on my lunch break and I saw a poster on the notice board that they have like at the end, and it had a picture of Hudson on it and it said, you know, needing a home or something. And I thought he looked so cute. He looks so different in that original picture though. He looks really scared. But now he doesn't look scared. So yeah, he came with that name. It just suits him. I think it's cute. I think it's got a grand name, Hudson, for a cat. So yes. Donuts or donuts. I would spell donuts with the second way, like dough. But the American-y way of spelling it, like the short way, is definitely more popular here now. Like if I was in Brighton recently and on the pier, they spelled donuts like this just because it's shorter and it's easier and you don't really need all of those extra words in there. Do you know much about disabilities and cruises? I've been on cruises with people who have limited mobility. I've cruised with friends a friend who's blind. So I know about it from the people I've cruised with. I always try and sort of get as many people's opinions as I can when I cruise, and people always point things out to me if they're good or if they're bad. So I try and include as much as I can kind of in my videos. It's tricky when it's not, you know, it's not my experience though, but I try my best. I don't have any pics of baby Hudson. No, I have no idea what he would look like. But if you imagine like a little ginger and white cat, it would be so cute. I wish I could see it. I wish I could see it. I completely disagree, Justin. He says every cruise is more expensive. Disagree so much. If you have a look at like a P&O cruise for this summer versus pre-pandemic, they are so much cheaper. And I've got great deals recently. MSC, I mean, MSC have always been really cheap, but there's some really cheap MSC cruises. Costa, oh my goodness, Costa are so cheap. I've had good deals with Norwegian. I've had good deals with. I cruised on Azamara, which I could have never afforded Azamara pre-pandemic, but they got under my £100 per night budget. So, yeah. Have you ever done a back-to-back cruise? I have not. I know plenty of people do, and the way that it works sometimes depends on the cruise line. It's usually pretty easy though. If you're booking a back-to-back cruise, you're just on a long cruise, so you just don't have to go home when everybody else has to go home, which is pretty good. Have you been to the Queen Mary Hotel in California? Yes, I have. I spent a night on board the Queen Mary. I didn't appreciate it enough because I was a teenager and I was not really interested in maritime history in the same way as I am now. But I do have a video about it on my channel. I've done a lot more research since I came back. To be honest, I'm quite glad that I did all the research since I came back. It's a bit spooky, a lot of it, but I have a video about it on my channel. If you search for Queen Mary, Emma Cruises, it will come up. It will come up. Oh, Justin means 2023 versus immediately post the pandemic. Oh, yeah. I mean, straight away after the pandemic, that was not a real time. Like, the cruise prices were crazy because I took a very cheap MSC cruise, £800, including flights to Barbados, which normally cost that alone. But that was because, you know, that was still the time when you had to fly there, do a COVID test. And if you tested positive, you were quarantining for 2 weeks in a Barbados approved quarantine hotel. So obviously people didn't want to take that risk. Jaffa cakes, are they a cake or a biscuit? Oh, it's such a big debate. I would put them in the biscuit tin. So, and if someone said, "Do you want a cake?" and then they brought me a Jaffa cake, I would be like, so I'd have to put them with biscuit and go against the definitions of biscuits. What should I expect from MSC coming from a Royal Caribbean experience, says Jamie. Ooh, you should expect to save 50% or more on the cruise fare. And it's a bit more, you know, it depends where you're going. It's quite different if you're going out of the US or the UK or in Europe, but it's so much more Mediterranean. Like when you're wandering around, people will be speaking French, German, Spanish, Portuguese, every single language will be around you, which I think is quite nice. It's sometimes quite chaotic on an MSC cruise. I don't think organization is their strong point, and I think they would probably agree with that. But the ships are really, really lovely. They have some of the coolest ships. You just have to go with the flow on an MSC cruise. Just don't have, you know, just be happy to do whatever happens. I think that's it, really. I mean, be happy to eat Mediterranean food. You're on a Mediterranean cruise line. I do see a lot of kind of complaints for MSC where people think it's going to be like an American cruise, and it's not. It's an Italian cruise. So as long as you know that it's different, I think the ships are really nice. I think they're nicer than a. Hudson's trying to eat my keyring. The ships are nicer than a lot of the other cruise lines. They're so much cheaper. You really can't argue. Like, it's good fun. You'll never be bored. It's quite lively and colourful. So, yes. What does whilst mean? Is whilst not a word? Yeah, while, like, at the same time. Whilst? Whilst? Could you and Emma also book me on Marilla and allow a US credit card? I think we have to use PayPal to hide the US address. It's not impossible. Definitely fill out our form and we can try, but it is not easy. Marella don't seem to particularly want to expand their market. And every time I talk to them, you know, they talk to me through emails and stuff. And I say, can you please help us? Like, we have people who want to book on Marella and they just say, oh, it's easy. They can do it on the website. No, they can't, because this is exactly why it comes up with the credit card and is like, nope. Can we see Hudson? If you scroll back a little bit, he's been here quite a lot during this live stream, but he's eaten his dreamies now. He's climbed all over me. I don't need any more fluff, so we'll see. Jim says, Emma, how are you alerted when your cabin is ready on embarkation day? Normally, it'll just be an overhead announcement, and either they'll say all your cabins are ready, or they'll say cabins on deck 6 to 9 are ready now, and then they'll be ready. Sometimes they'll just tell you the cabins will be ready at 2 when you embark. When you walk in, they might tell you, but you usually know. Sometimes they're open earlier than they'll say, but I don't think I've ever found it, the other way. Yeah, Dan says TUI as a whole is not very US friendly. It is sad because it's a very good cruise line, and I think Americans would like it, but I guess not. That's how that one stays so British. They make it hard for anybody else. Oh, trying to decide between NCL Prima and Celebrity Beyond. Which one do you prefer? I've not been on Celebrity Beyond, so it's quite hard for me to say. It's tricky. If anyone in the chat has been on both, please do let me know. I think they're both very, very good ships. They're very nice ships. I think Prima's a bit more kind of young focused, a bit more. Celebrity's a bit more, I don't know. It's hard. Maybe Celebrity's a little bit more traditional, I guess. Prima's got like the go-karts and the, you know what I mean, the slides and stuff, and Beyond doesn't have that, but both good, both good. Yeah, Dan says Beyond was incredible. Have not been on Prima yet. I am going on Edge soon, Celebrity Edge, so I'll have more celebrity knowledge. I've only cruised on the older celebrity ships, but yes. Wayne says, hi, Emma. Saw an article that a woman went to breakfast in her pajamas on a cruise. Have you ever seen that? I can't believe that is worth writing an article about, that someone went out in their pajamas. I used to work in a supermarket for years, and people would come in the supermarket all the time in their onesies, in their pajamas. Yeah. I'm sure I've seen people wear, I don't really pay attention what other people wear, but I'm sure. Probably. Justin says, Prima. I'm biased. Yeah. Terry says, as a Canadian, if I book a Mediterranean cruise directly with the line, am I able to get a reprice if the price drops? I believe you folks in the UK can't. Yeah, it depends on the cruise line and the cruise line's terms and conditions. If you book a Royal Caribbean cruise from the UK and you book one from the US, the booking terms are very, very different. So yes, yes is my answer, but it varies a lot. Yeah, that's my answer. If you're in the UK and you book it, just just accept it. Yeah, also we have Celebrity Beyond, and I don't even know what that number is. So yeah, I don't know. They're both pretty good. Yeah, Beyond was very laid back and fun. Yeah, I think that sounds good. We prefer older celebrity ships. Love the air punch when saying so British. I like that. I picked that up from my friend Tom. I cruised with my friend Tom on Prima, and he always did this. And now I can't stop it. Is the boarding process different if you board in a port that isn't the main cruise port? MSC has many ports. It's normally just easier. That's the only thing. It's the same sort of terminal, the same sort of security, same sort of checking in at the desk, but you'll probably have, maybe 500 people are boarding this day instead of 5,000 people are boarding. So it's usually just a little bit easier. You might be in kind of a more smaller terminal, a bit more rundown. I don't know, not the most modern, but never really noticed any difference. MSC, it's kind of assumed people are boarding every single day. So I've boarded all different stages on an MSC cruise. There isn't really a start. There isn't really an end. Oh, you okay, Hudson? But yeah, it's easy. It's easy peasy, easy for sure. Yes. Yeah, Dan says, if you're booking through an agent, there are tools in the back with most cruise lines to refare and apply promos as long as it's not past the final payment date. Yes, of course. If you need an agent, Dan is here for the US and Canada, and he does magic that I don't even understand, which is pretty cool. Going on a Disney cruise in November, can you give me some tips? If you check out my Disney video, I did take a Disney cruise. That should give you everything I know about Disney. It was not a normal Disney cruise because it was just after the pandemic, but it will give you an idea of, how the ships work, how the entertainment works, how the food works, everything like that. Are you booking on Celebrity Icon? I don't know. John says, I will be sending an inquiry for Morella today. Okay, cool. Cool. I know you're normally a budget cruiser, but which mainstream cruise line do you think offers the best premium experience for those willing to pay for an upgrade? Oh, depends how premium we're going to go. Are we going to go like £500 a night, £1,000 a night? Are we going on yachts? It depends what you want, because I could upgrade to a more expensive cruise line, but it might not be what I care about. Quite often I like the things that are on the big ships, and it's the smaller ships when you upgrade. So it may be, oh, I've upgraded to a smaller ship, but now for me, that's not better. It's not just like the most expensive cruise is the best cruise. That's just, you need to know what you value, I think. Yeah, thank you. Icon is Royal Caribbean. That's why I got a bit confused. I didn't know if it was a really new ship that I had not heard of yet, but I haven't booked anything on. Oops, I touched the Dreamies. Sorry, Hudson. I didn't. Now you're here though. Yeah, I haven't booked it. But I am cruising on Symphony of the Seas. Symphony of the Seas. Oh. Sean says, if I've already booked a cruise, is it too late to hire a travel agent to do it? Normally, there's like a cutoff time. So if you've done it recently, it's totally fine. And we get a lot of requests to kind of take over people's cruises. And that's totally fine. You can do that. As long as you haven't done the full payment and it's not like 4 years, normally it's okay. I'm sure Dan can say what the cutoff is. Have you heard anything about the Azamara booking problems they're having? No, I have not. I know that they were getting a completely new website, so has something gone wrong there, maybe? I did see it was closed down for a bit, so maybe it's back. Oh, I can't get my parents to join me on a cruise with the wife and kids. Response is, I'm not going on the water no matter what. I've shown them your videos. How to convince them? I don't think I would try. I think I would just leave them, to be honest. Because I'm not going on water no matter what is quite... It's quite... I don't know where you can go from there. That's not like a problem with food or entertainment or itineraries. That's water. You could try a river cruise, I guess. It's not as deep. But yes. Do you cruise with your family? Yes, I'm very lucky. I get to cruise with my family quite a lot. Do you run as a travel agent? I am not myself a qualified travel agent, but I work with a team. We have up to 11 people in the UK working on our quotes with me now, which is just crazy. And in the US, we have a team as well. So we're doing it. It's a lot. It is a lot, but I think it's the best part of everything I do, I think, because it's just so nice. Because for such a long time, all we were doing were canceling cruises, like pushing them, lifting and shifting because of the pandemic. And now people can book the cruise and then come back and say, I booked this cruise and it was great, which is really good. Oh, people had an email from them to say the price was an error. Is that legal if they've booked? I think it is fine, actually. I know a lot of people think that if they buy something online, I don't know. We'll have to ask Martin Lewis if he's a... Oops. I didn't mean to kick that, but I couldn't feel my feet. I always stay cross-legged on these live streams. Yeah, Dan says, Mum and Dad, I'm sorry you don't love me anymore. We'll send you pictures from the trip. Yeah, that's all I would do, is just go and enjoy myself without them. You need a Canadian team too. Dan is my Canadian team. My US team and Canada, they do all of that. They're magical. So yes. Peter says, first time I've caught you live. Hello, Peter. Welcome to the live stream. I try and do these every Friday. If I'm somewhere on a ship somewhere in the middle of the ocean, I don't have internet. Sometimes I move them around a little bit, but I try and do these on Fridays. Next week, I think I'm going to a conference, so I'm going to have to move it away from Friday, but I will let you know. Jamie says you should get Martin Lewis on a stream. I think he's a very busy man, and he probably costs about £50,000 for an hour. So I'm probably not going to do that. Jonathan says, so you've sold me on Prima and now NCL is taking it to Europe. How can I find out when they'll be back in the US? Oh, I'm pretty sure you can just search for Prima on Norwegian's website and then it just lists them out, doesn't it? Because I'm sure I've looked at ones for next year on Prima from the US. Who is Dan? He sounds like the cruise wizard. Dan is my agent partner in the US. He's from Texas and he is a wizard. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. He's the third generation of the family running his agency, and he teaches me an awful lot. Go on, Viva, says John. If you hadn't said you kicked it, I would have assumed it was a cat quake. I don't want Hudson to knock this on the floor. Definitely not. Hi from Canada. No Pepsi today. I have to pace myself on the Pepsi. I if I gave myself Pepsi whenever I wanted it, my blood would just be Pepsi. So we're drinking squash for the live stream. I'll have a Pepsi after dinner. That's the plan. Oh my goodness, we have 10 minutes left on this live stream. Time is flying. What things did I want to say on this live stream? So I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who's left comments on my Prima content, especially the stuff on Norwegian's channel, because they are happy with me. They send me messages being like, I cannot believe how nice your audience are. Thank you. I told you. So that's really cool. And hopefully they'll let me in the Haven next time. So I'm going to try and I've got some things to give away, and I'm going to ask people if they've booked Prima because of me, if they can tell me. I wouldn't normally do that, but I want to be like, here you go. Can we do the Haven next time? Because that would be really, really cool. I want to show that, so that would be awesome. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's uploaded t-shirt pictures to my website, because it's so cool whenever I refresh it and I see the reviews with the t-shirts. I think you get a discount if you review it with the picture, so that's pretty cool. I think that's it. I think it's just lots of thank yous. So yeah, if you have any kind of fast questions for the next 10 minutes, please let me know, and I'll try and get through as many as I can. Tom says, if you had to start a channel on something other than cruising, what would it be about? It would definitely be about YouTube. It would be about running a business. It would be about leaving a standard 9-to-5 job to do something a bit more quirky. It would be about, online marketing, blogging, all of that sort of, working with different teams, business building, I guess. I love all of that stuff. I listen to every single business book. I love it. Do you ever drink Coca-Cola? Yeah, I drink Coca-Cola when Pepsi is not available. I do like them. I do like both. I saw a vlog about Virgin asking for daily feedback via their app in order to resolve guest complaints. Do you think this is plausible on other ships? Would it be beneficial? I think so. The thing it really annoys me when I read reviews on certain websites and people complain about all these things. This went wrong, and then other people ask, did you tell anyone? Did you ask? And they just didn't. So I'm all for people, things go wrong on cruises, things go wrong all the time. Complain, absolutely complain, but I don't think you can complain if you haven't told anyone or tried to fix it. I just don't understand that logic. So yeah, I think that would help people, because people don't always want to queue at reception. You're on a cruise, you don't want to have to do that. But if they ask, yes. Do you recommend a cruise from the UK to the Canaries? So I took a cruise from the UK to the Canary Islands. I did it over Christmas, not this year, year before. And it was no longer the roughest seas, but the second roughest seas that I've ever had. We had cancelled ports because they couldn't dock. I wasn't too seasick, but we had really quite rough seas. So it depends if that's something that would affect you. We were supposed to have 3 sea days going down. It turned into 4 because we couldn't dock. We had storms. We had medical emergencies. We had everything happen on that cruise. So it depends if you're okay with lots of days at sea where you may have rough weather. The Canary Islands are lovely. Love them. But I think I would choose to fly rather than sail. How do you feel about root beer? I had this in America once, and I do not like it from memory. I see comments in the chat about booking through Dan. If you go through my website, if you go emmacruises.com, click the big book button, it comes straight through by email to Dan and to Emma if you're in the UK team, and me, and then I can keep track of everything and I can check, have you had your quote and all that stuff. Have you ever had cordial? So cordial means different things in the UK and the US, I found out. In England, it's just fancy squash, just like this, like diluted juice. And as far as I know, in the US, it's alcoholic. Which is weird. So as it is not. What flavour is today's squash? It is Vimto. You can't beat Vimto. Yeah, we don't really get root beer in the UK. She doesn't drink beer anyway. Yeah, no, I don't like beer. But I've had it in the US, definitely. Maybe you can get Pepsi to sponsor you. The sad thing is I don't think Pepsi really need me. But I would love it. That would be the absolute dream. But almost every cruise line has Coke now, not Pepsi, so it would be a bit tricky. Have you ever had Mexican Coca-Cola? Mm-mm. No, but I would try it. I would try it. Any advice on what to do if the cabin price drops 15% 1 week after you've booked? Happened to me. If you're in the US, go back to your travel agent and say, give me some onboard credit, adjust the price. If you're in the UK, don't look. There's very few situations where you can get anything. It's like, if you bought a t-shirt in Marks and Spencer's and you went back and it was on sale, you could return it and then buy it again, I guess. And you can cancel your cruise, but you're not going to get your deposit back. So you could cancel it, lose your deposit, and then rebook. Sometimes that works out better, but they're not just going to change it if you're from the UK anyway. What is your dream cruise if money wasn't a problem? I would head as far away as possible, and I would do Australia, New Zealand, something like that. Maybe come back via Hawaii, go back all the way around. That would be really cool. Have you been to the Pepsi Museum? No, I didn't know there was a Pepsi Museum. That sounds really cool. Have you dropped the creator section on your Facebook page? I don't know what this means. Do you mean the creator corner that we do in our Facebook group? It's not on the Facebook page. If you're in the group, on the 1st of each month, we have a place where people can share their YouTube videos, blog posts, everything like that. No, it's still there. It's not dropped. It's in the group though. So if you're looking on the page, you will not find it. Did you know you can rearrange the word Vimto to spell vomit? Ew. I didn't know that, but yes. Yeah, Connie says cordial on MSC was some nasty drink, not alcoholic, but to stimulate your appetite. Yeah, when I was on Norwegian, I was looking at the prices of the cordials, and I was like, why is a cordial like $10? It's squash. And the people I was with were like, no, that's an alcoholic like liqueur. I don't know. I think that's what it was. Do you live in Southampton? I don't right now. I live in Brighton, but I am moving very soon. This is maybe the last live stream I'll do in this set. I'm not sure, but you won't really be able to notice, so it's okay. But I'm going slightly closer to the ship, slightly closer. Read about people who live on cruise ships. Will you ever do that? Maybe. I mean, not right now. I would miss my family on land. I would miss my cats. I like, my friends and things. If I was a lot older, why would I not? Yeah, absolutely. The steward who bought my breakfast each morning always had a conversation with Captain Hudson. The captain was quite popular. This is so crazy to me that crew would know who Captain Hudson is. I love how much this is rotating around. It's okay, but please just go back to where you were. Nope. That's where you're going to be for the next 3 minutes. That's all right. Yeah, that's crazy. The crew would know who Captain Hudson is. We sold this first version. So these are made for a charity called Mercy Ships. That's just a sticker. But they're made for a charity called Mercy Ships. And we sold 1,300 of these the first time. And I don't know how many we're going to sell this time. But I'm very excited. Because we raised... The profit was $11,000, which is quite a few separate surgeries that we funded. So Mercy ships have hospital ships. They fill their ships with volunteer nurses, doctors, cooks, engineers, everything they need. They're all volunteers and they do surgeries. So they will, do cataract surgeries and cure people's blindness. And it was like we could do like 20 different cataract surgeries or something with the money we've saved. So Captain Hudson is super cute, but he's also literally a lifesaver. So that's pretty good. We will see how many we sell next time. I'm excited. Oh my goodness. The comments are going so fast. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming to these live streams. I appreciate it. I saw a piano in an older video. Do you play? Where did it go? It's been collecting dust ever since then. It's just like, it's not like a proper piano. It's just like an electric keyboard thing. But I can't play it. For many years, I've thought that I would try... I don't have time for it. I would like to, but maybe one day. What is the difference between a toy and a plushie? I'd say a plushie is a type of toy. A plushie is like a squishy soft toy. And a toy could be like an action man or, anything. Smash that thumbs up, y'all, says Jonathan. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It just gives YouTube like a good sign, and it will kind of make my videos follow you around, which is cool. Even if they're not on my channel, which is bizarre. So yes, this is the t-shirt of the week. If you would like to get it, use code animals for 10% off for the next 24 hours. That's just a live stream thing, so don't tell anyone who didn't come to these live streams. And I also have dogs and rabbits, so we're going to see who wins: cats, dogs, and rabbits. They're also on luggage tags like this if you prefer luggage tags. And I have a new suitcase that I'll show you very soon. It's absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We are booking an Alaskan cruise. Is this on your future itinerary? I haven't got any Alaska cruises booked right now. I really want to. I have been to Alaska before, but no plans to right now. What is the best cruise you've ever had? I cruised from Singapore to Tokyo on the Golden Princess. I think that's my favorite because every single place we went to was just crazy, and it was just such a good cruise. To come back to that ship was really nice. Yeah, my mum says, everyone go and watch Emma's videos on the NCL channel now, please. Yes, if you can, Norwegian Cruise Line's channel. If you can write something nice, I would really appreciate it. There's so many nice comments in there. It's blown my mind. Blown my mind. I was nervous about it because I don't control the comments on another channel. So there could be people in there saying terrible things about me and I wouldn't be able to delete them, which would be awful. But they're all really nice. So I really, really appreciate it. There's 2 on there right now. One that's all of the food we ate on Prima. I got to do all the specialty dining. Normally I wouldn't buy that. But because I was there for Norwegian, they asked me, will you please eat these things? Okay. And there's one about all the slides I did and the go-karts on the cruise ships, which was very cool. So yes, they'll be coming out next week, another video on my channel. Yeah, just thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for liking this. Watch it on the NCO website or YouTube. If you go on either, if you go on the Norwegian Cruise Line Prima page, you'll see just the YouTube video embedded. If you go on Norwegian's YouTube channel, it'll probably be easier to watch them there. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Appreciate it. What do you do when you get nasty comments? I hide them forever. I do not engage. I do not care. I read something and it said, do not take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from. And I think that's changed everything for me. So yes, thank you so much, everybody, for coming to this live stream. I will be here next week. It won't be on Friday because I'm going to a conference, very exciting, a business conference. But I will do it earlier in the week, possibly on Wednesday. So I will let you know. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I will see you all soon. Bye, guys.